ladies and gentlemen, the preacher has returned. The Prodigy has returned. The podcast is back after a multi-week layoff as we were traveling from here to Chicago to the Swiss Alps to Israel and all the way back.
With a layover at Greece for a little bit of a time.
We had to get a new crew in Athens, but we were not afforded the opportunity of seeing the Parthenon.
I saw it from the plane window, just barely. It looked like a, computer building, but we got it to work.
Yep, that famous
office building.
Computer building looking place, the Parthenon. So the preacher and the Prodigy has returned. We're back to talk a little more college football with you. The season is waning
The penultimate week.
away.
Week 13.
Which means it's time for that massive matchup between Georgia
and Charlotte. Woo! I got Charlotte covering 44.5.
The Chattanooga Moccasins must be otherwise occupied. Welcome back, everyone, to week 13 of the podcast. We have been looking this year at a topsy-turvy year in college football, but there's been a couple of constants. Ohio State's been really, really good. Indiana's been really, really good. Texas A&M, back from the brink of disaster, down 30-3 at the half, appears to be really, really good. And then beyond that, there's been a lot of churn. Georgia's solid. Yeah. Texas, all over the place. Rumors of Sark leaving. Lots of coaching changes all over the place. Lane Kiffin is no one knows what Lane Kiffin's going to do right now. I don't think Lane Kiffin knows what he's going to do right now either. So we want to take a look at what's ahead of us in week 13. But first, a look back at a couple of forgettable Michigan games.
Yeah, kind of just not typical Michigan football. What we've seen in previous years in Michigan, I think the biggest takeaway from these 2 weeks, Michigan did not take care of the football, especially seen at Wrigley. Michigan just does not seem like a disciplined team playing good football. They're getting away by the skin of their teeth, but 5 turnovers isn't going to win you a lot of games against Northwestern. And, I'm blanking. Who did we play before that?
Purdue, 21-16.
21-16, yes. Another game where it's like you're probably the better team, more talented team. But you just got to execute, and mistakes are a large part of the course of a game. It's just who makes the least amount of mistakes, as well as who's just the better team, and Michigan has escaped the hands of Purdue. And
haven't been helped by player health issues. Injuries have been rampant. So Jordan Marshall was out. Justice Haynes appears to be done for the season.
Surgery,
multiple unit players in the linebacking unit are out. Offensive linemen. It's really been the mashed unit this year for Michigan. The upside in that is that they probably weren't going to contend for the Crystal Trophy this year anyway, and they are getting young players a lot of valuable playing time. Of course, in this day and age, they might just parlay that into an NIL deal at another school. So, 8-2. That is 8-2. But it hasn't been an impressive 8-2.
No.
It's not been like Notre Dame's 8-2. It's been a little ish. So let's look ahead now. We want to quickly tick off a few games nationally and then finish with that huge matchup in College Park, Maryland.
That always happened to the second to last game.
Let's start with Virginia Tech.
Yeah, we talked about coaching changes. This one kind of just because of the coaching changes happened. James Franklin now heading to Virginia Tech. We kind of saw this one coming. There was talks throughout the week that James Franklin was going to head down to Blacksburg to take over the Hokies.
Might have been waiting for something else to open up.
Possibly.
But didn't want to overplay his hand. Good move, James. Take the bird in the hand.
They'll be hosting Miami this week. Like we said, it's probably not going to be a good game. Miami is favored in this one by, I believe it's 17.5. Yes, it's 17.5. It's not going to be a great game. I think it's 11 o'clock kick on ESPN. So maybe there if you want to put something on the TV on your multi-screen view. I got to go first because I went 4-1 in the previous whatever week that was, week 10 I think.
Week 10 of the 2019 season.
I'm creeping up, so I'll pick this one first. Just give me Miami. I mean, they seem like a solid team right now. They seem playoff bound. They had a few slip-ups along the way, but right now they're playing really good football. Even though it's at Blacksburg, it's not like a night game. Sandstorm can only get so loud, so give me the Canes to to roll here.
Can't disagree more. I'm going to take that James Franklin juice coursing through the stadium to the dulcet sounds of Enter Sandman. Give me the Hokies to cover that number and just show some life, show some excitement for what's ahead. Vatek loses by 13 points.
Man, you almost had me. Because this week is not the greatest week and all the teams have set their biggest games for next week, there are still some rivalry games here, interestingly enough. One of them is the battle for the victory bell between the common college basketball rivalry of the Duke Blue Devils and the North Carolina Tar Heels. This is obviously the biggest one in terms of college basketball, but they're playing this week on the gridiron. And Duke, on the road is favored by a touchdown even. Duke's favored by 7. This is a 2:30 kickoff. ACC Network or something. Duke, if they win this game, is bowl bound, and North Carolina is eliminated from bowl contention. North Carolina needs to win this game to make a bowl game. So.
And they will not. I'm taking Duke to cover 7.5. Give me the Blue Devils on the road. Just disarray in North Carolina. Manny Diaz has shown the ability to win the big game. So I'm going to take Duke on the road.
I agree, Duke.
Lay in those 7.
It's kind of a thing where you bring in Bill Belichick and he doesn't really understand this rivalry game to the extent that maybe Duke does, although Manny Diaz is new to this as well. But give me Duke. Again, get to the bowl game. Kind of just extend the season kind of a thing. Another very low-tier rivalry, but a very historic rivalry is
the band is on the field!
Current ACC former Pac-10 matchup between the Cal Golden Bears and the Stanford Cardinal.
Because nothing says the Atlantic Coast like the San Francisco Bay.
This game is in Stanford Stadium, and the Bears are favored.
That changes things.
The Bears are favored by 3 on the road. California is already made their bowl game. They are 6-4, and Stanford is eliminated from bowl contention. Although we have seen these 5-7 teams in recent years make bowl games, but Stanford is currently sitting at 3-7. Make it 3-8 for me. Give me the Bears. They've looked solid this year. JKS putting together one of the best seasons. And is a freshman, one of the best freshman seasons, I should say, at least the best from a quarterbacking perspective. So give me the Bears.
How quickly you seem to have forgotten that Stanford beat Florida State.
How quickly you've forgotten that Florida State is 5-5.
I'm going with Cal.
All right. All right, we move on to the last 2 games, both Big Ten games, but we'll keep it on the West Coast for USC at Oregon. Oregon is favored by 10 in this one. This is a huge game playoff implications-wise. Both of these teams, if these teams went out, they're probably in. It's hard for me to see USC not in at 10-2 to the playoffs. And Oregon sitting at number, I don't know what they're in, but they're in right now.
Yeah.
Number 6th maybe. I think Texas Tech's over 5, but they're 9-1. Hoping to make the Big Ten championship game. Although Indiana or Ohio State look like that's going to be set for them.
If Michigan beats Ohio State, is it an Indiana-Oregon rematch?
I'm not sure. That's one of those weird tiebreakers. But Oregon's favored by 10 at home, 2:30 kickoff, so not going to get crazy at night in Autzen, but it will near the end. Who do you like in this one? I think this is going to be a very intriguing game.
So, what do we know about USC? We know that USC plays fairly well at home. We know that USC is not good when they have to travel multiple time zones. We also know that Autzen Stadium is in the same time zone as the Los Angeles Coliseum. I like the number. It's a good number. I see this game as being in that upper 30s to mid-20s game. I'm going to take the Ducks to cover 37-23.
All right, I like USC. I think this is going to be a fun game, maybe a 34-30
it'll be a fun game.
Just one where Jaden Maeva kind of puts the team on his back. He's been very good this year, kind of dueling out with Dante Moore. I do think Oregon wins, but I think it's one of those kind of almost prove-it games where you got to prove that you can win close if you're the Ducks and make a playoff team, because there hasn't ever been, even the LSU Tigers of 2019, they had a close game. So there always are going to be close games that you're going to need to win, going to need to grind out, going to need to execute. And I think that's going to be a game for Oregon here, and I think that they make an
How do you feel about how USC played against Iowa? At home.
I mean, Yeah, so I think once Iowa got up 21-7, they might have taken the foot off the gas, which is hard to say for Iowa.
Yeah, because Iowa has so much gas.
Well, listen. They get to 21 points, and once they take it off a little bit, boom, they don't score at all, and then USC keeps fighting, keeps clawing. They're a little bit more athletic in terms of speed and juice that Trojans have. They're at home. I know it was a little bit of a rain fest, which Iowa tends to win those games, but USC kind of just, I don't know, once they got ahead, they didn't relinquish their lead as Iowa did. Which is, boy, what was that? That might have been the biggest blown lead for Iowa since, do you know the stat on that? It was a long time since Iowa blew 14.
I'll admit I was a little underwhelmed by USC in that game. We had that on our left screen, but USC did get the win. I just think Oregon is playing better right now. Looking back, Oregon's lost to Indiana. Nothing to really be ashamed of. Other than that, they've been excellent this year. Give me the Ducks. All right, Game 5.
Finish with the game for our Michigan Wolverines in College Park, where Michigan is on the road and favored by 14 even in this game. This is always a game where like anything can happen. Players get injured. Players sit out in the game before the game. Maryland just puts up a heck of a fight. We saw this in Michigan's championship year. Got off by the skin of our teeth. Had to come away with a bunch of turnovers near the end. Billy Edwards had 3 one-yard rushing touchdowns. Just one of the weird games where JJ was hurt, kind of a thing. So kind of just having to win in advance. We did see 2021, the same time, same game at College Park in Michigan, blew the doors off and was probably Donovan Edwards. Could make the case Donovan Edwards' best game ever as a Michigan Wolverine. Just went berserk in his freshman year. So, like we said, Michigan is favored by 14. I'm going to pick first. I think we both know where we're going with this one. I think it's going to be Maryland covering. It's not going to be that hard. I think Michigan is still going to win. But these kind of games where Michigan can't just play conservative football and win their way through. I think it's going to be a bunch of hiccups along the way. I think Michigan is going to actually have to put their best foot forward near the end of this game and come up with a win. I think, what is his last name? I can't think today. Quarterback for Maryland.
Malik Washington?
Malik Washington. I was thinking Daryl Washington, something like that. But Malik Washington will cause a lot of problems for Michigan because we have not been superb at stopping running quarterbacks this year. So give me Maryland to cover. I think this isn't that.
Yeah, freshman quarterback versus freshman quarterback. I'm going to just hedge a little bit because if perchance number 23 is out there for Michigan, I like Michigan to cover because Maryland cannot stop the run at all. They're terrible in rush defense. And that's a good recipe for Michigan to cover this game and win 28-7 or something like that. But I don't think Jordan Marshall's going to play. I think it'll be Bryson Cudsdale and Jasper Parker. And so I'm going to agree with you, but I do think Michigan plays better. I think that Michigan, if you really look at the game against Northwestern at a high level, what you see is Michigan doubled the yardage of Northwestern. They just couldn't hang on to the ball. Mm-hmm. They outgained them 496 to
230 something.
They played pretty good football. Defensively, they played good football. Even the plays that hit for Northwestern were just right over the outstretched finger of, Zeke Berry or someone like that. Michigan is playing pretty well. 14 is a big number on the road. I'm going to take Michigan to win this game 28-16.
So you think that Michigan, straight up on paper, Michigan is more than 14 points better than Maryland, but in this scenario, that's like, I'm with you. I think that Michigan, if this was week 5 in College Park, I think Michigan is winning this game by more than 14 points. But because of the week 4 Ohio State, because we're going to have to shorten the game, and because I don't think we can do that very well right now, I think Maryland's going to cover because mistakes will happen with this Michigan team. We've seen it. Maybe this could be just, overreaction based on the Northwestern game, but Bryce Underwood is a freshman. But
so is Malik Washington. They're both true freshmen, and I think Michigan's defense is better than Maryland's defense. I think it comes down to Bryson Cudstall. He's a fast dude, but what do we know about his ball security? What do we know about his blitz pickups? I mean, not enough to really have any confidence. I think if you give me the Michigan that took the field against Michigan State in the first minute with, Justice Haynes and all those kind of things on a neutral field against Maryland right now,
blow them out of the water.
I think it's 41-10. But we're not in that situation. And it's the end of the year. Attrition has happened. Injuries happen. The road happens. Ohio State look-ahead happens. Darkness happens. Bryce has not played well at night. I'm with you. 28-16 Michigan, or something like that. Maryland covers. Michigan Michigan, and that's what Sharon Moore's going to be fine with. Come out of this game without any further injuries. Get everybody in the ice bath, and then put all your chips on the game next weekend.
24-19 Michigan.
Ooh.
A lot of field goals for Maryland.
Yikes.
I just don't think they'll finish drive. Yeah. I mean, it was 21-16 at home against Purdue. And that wasn't even a game where we had to, save anybody for. That was just a straight-up game where Purdue hung around with us. I just don't think Michigan is the 18th best team in the country straight up. And even if we beat Ohio State, I still don't think Michigan is one of the 12 best or whatever, 10 best teams in the college football nation. So I just think it's going to be a closer game than we see. I think Michigan is kind of just, we could talk about this more next week when we pick the game, but I think it's going to be more difficult for Michigan to stop Ohio State because even though they might be a better team this year, they're more flawed this year. And Michigan had to play flawless football last year to get the dub.
So right now, we'll wrap this podcast, but looking ahead, the line for Michigan State is at about 12.
Ohio State or Michigan State?
Michigan against Ohio State.
You said Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan against Ohio State is like Ohio State minus 12. I don't know what the over-under on that is because
low.
We're looking at potentially weather. This the 10-day says weather, and so
What kind of weather? Snow.
Cold. But again, Michigan doesn't have a Hassan Haskins right now. I'm just saying, could that game end up 17-7? I think it could. Ohio State's not surrendering much, and Carnell Tate hurt, not playing this weekend.
Jeremiah Smith also probably not playing this weekend.
A little bit hurt.
Less.
Bo Jackson. Don't know. I think that game could be one of the lowest over-unders in a minute.
I don't think it will be, but I don't think it's going to be projected to be. I don't think Vegas is going to set as one of the lowest, but I think it could.
We can probably look it up. It's probably set for 33.5 or something right now. So probably 21-10 or something. Is
right.
But we'll see. We will find out next week.
More next week.
Until then, I'm the preacher.
I'm the prodigy.
Peace.
Peace.